Hello, and welcome to this lesson of Introduction to AWS. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to list the use of Amazon Web Services, or AWS, list the advantages of AWS, identify ways to access AWS, create an AWS account, comprehend navigation of the AWS Management Console, define the AWS Global Infrastructure, and explain the AWS security measures. In this topic, you will learn about Amazon Web Services, or AWS. Amazon uses decentralized or distributed IT infrastructure to make several IT resources available on demand. Since the 1990s, it has invested millions of dollars in building and managing large-scale distributed and efficient IT infrastructure. Amazon launched AWS, a cloud computing platform to allow other organizations to take advantage of this reliable IT infrastructure. There are many scenarios in which AWS is an efficient option for running web applications or organization portals. Let's explore a few AWS use cases. A small manufacturing organization can use its expertise in expanding its business through quality production while leaving IT management to AWS. A large enterprise spread across the globe can utilize AWS to deliver training to its distributed workforce. An architecture consulting company can use AWS to get high compute rendering of its construction prototypes. A media company can use AWS to provide different types of content, such as videos, ebooks, and audio files to its worldwide customers. Based on the concept of pay-as-you-go, AWS provides a suite of services that customers can use when required and without any long-term commitments or upfront expenditure. The platform enables customers to procure service such as computing, programming models, database storage, networking, and development platforms in minutes. This allows the customers to enjoy the benefit of low operational overheads. The distributed IT infrastructure provided through AWS has evolved with time through the lessons learned from over 16 years of experience. AWS diligently listens to its customer feedback. This enables the AWS team to efficiently deliver creative features and services. Even today, AWS continues to hone its operational expertise continually to retain lasting reliability by employing its own advances and industry best practices into its cloud infrastructure. As a result, the customers tend to benefit significantly from AWS. These benefits include the following: flexibility, cost-effectiveness, scalability and elasticity, security. Flexibility is the major benefit of using AWS when compared with the traditional IT infrastructure. This benefit is realized in different ways. First, you get more time for core business tasks through the instant availability of new features and services. The traditional IT infrastructure requires a lot of time in planning, designing, procuring, hiring, and managing resources. Second, you enjoy effortless hosting of legacy applications. AWS does not require rewriting legacy applications or learning new technologies. Migrating legacy applications to AWS gives the benefits of advanced computing as well as efficient storage. Last, you get a choice in running services and applications. AWS is flexible enough to run services and applications separately or together as a platform. You can even choose to run a part of your IT infrastructure in AWS and the remaining part in your data centers. Large organizations usually prefer this method of operation. AWS requires no upfront investment, long-term commitment, or minimum expense. This is its significant advantage when compared to the traditional IT infrastructure. Owning and operating one's own infrastructure requires huge investments in IT hardware, power, bandwidth, and human resources. Through AWS, techniques such as auto-scaling and elastic load balancing can automatically scale resources. They scale up the required resources to fulfill a sudden demand and then scale them down when the demand falls without affecting speed and performance. The AWS techniques are ideal for dealing with unpredictable and variable loads. As a result, the organization enjoys the benefits of reduced cost and increased user satisfaction. AWS delivers end-to-end security and privacy to its customers. Its virtual infrastructure offers optimum availability while managing full privacy for customers and isolation of their operations. Customers can expect high physical security, and this is due to Amazon's several years of experience in designing, developing, and running large-scale IT operation centers. AWS ensures confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the user's data. The purpose of AWS compliance is to enable you to understand its powerful controls in action and maintain security and data protection. AWS provides security to their global infrastructure, along with a variety of features for securing critical data in the cloud. Let's explore some of the security highlights. AWS sternly controls, supervises, and audits physical access to their data centers and network. As a customer, you can manage credentials, allowing access to your AWS account. Access Control List, or ACL, type permissions on critical data, as well as encrypt it while in storage. Configure a virtual private cloud, or VPC, a virtual network logically isolated in AWS from other virtual networks. Configure and control the operating system on your own Amazon Web Services virtual server. Configure a security group as a virtual firewall to keep an eye on the incoming and outgoing traffic for your virtual servers in AWS. State a key pair at the time of introducing your virtual server in AWS. This key pair is then used to encrypt login information. The AWS IT infrastructure is designed and managed according to the best security practices, certifications, and IT security standards. These certifications include Service Organization Control, or SOC1, SOC2, and SOC3, Federal Information Security Management Act, or FISMA, Department of Defense, or DoD Information Assurance Certification and Accreditation Process, or DIACAP, Federal Risk and Authorization Management Program, or FedRAMP, DoD Cloud Computing Security Requirements Guide, or SRG, Criminal Justice Information Services, or CJIS, National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, Payment Card Industry, or PCI Data Security Standard DSS Level 1. International Organization for Standardization, or ISO 9001 and ISO 27001, U.S. International Traffic in Arms Regulations, or ITAR, Section 508, Voluntary Product Accessibility Template, or VPAT, Federal Information Processing Standard, or FIPS Publication 140-2. The industry-specific standards for customers to deploy their solutions include Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or HIPAA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, or FERPA, Cloud Security Alliance, or CSA, Motion Picture Association of America, or MPAA. In this topic, you will learn about accessing AWS. There are 5 different ways to access AWS to create and manage your applications. The AWS Management Console that refers to a web interface. The AWS Command Line Interface, or AWS CLI, which refers to a command line tool that operates through commands for managing and automating your AWS products or services. The command line tools operate through the commands to manage your individual AWS products. AWS Software Development Kits, or SDKs, referring to Application Programming Interfaces, or APIs, specific to your programming platform or language. Query APIs, referring to low-level APIs accessible through Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or HTTP requests. Amazon offers free usage of AWS cloud services for a period of 12 months. This ensures users get an opportunity to experience Amazon cloud computing products. This service is referred to as AWS Free Usage Tier. The key features of the AWS Free Usage Tier are as follows. Amazon S3 data storage infrastructure with a standard storage of 5 GB facilitating 20,000 GET requests and 2,000 PUT requests. Amazon EC2 for resizing computer capacity in the cloud with 750 hours per month each of Linux, RHEL, or SLES T2. Amazon DynamoDB with 25 units each of read and write capacity and 25 GB storage. It does not expire at the end of 12 months. AWS IoT device-to-cloud connector that can publish and/or deliver 250,000 messages every month. And Amazon EC2 Container Registry that facilitates storage and retrieval of Docker images with a storage capacity of 500 megabytes per month. Anything that comes for free brings limitations along. So the limitations of AWS Free Usage Tier are as follows. The benefits of the AWS Free Tier can be availed by the user for 12 months after first signing up. Once this free usage period expires, you will be required to pay as you go, as per the standard usage rates. Any leftover free monthly usage limit does not roll over to the next month. If you exceed the free limit for a month, you pay as you go, as per standard rates. And if you opt for consolidated billing, although it is spread across multiple accounts, the entry is only for one free usage account. The pricing calculation for using AWS is simple, as it provides a simple monthly calculator to estimate the cost of using its services. It is important to note that different regions have different prices. Let's see the steps to create an AWS account. The first step is to open the AWS web page. Then, click Create a Free Account to display the sign-in or Create an AWS Account page. In this page, click I am a new user. Enter your email ID or mobile number in the email or mobile number box, and then click Sign in using Secure Server. The AWS servers verify if an account already exists with the entered email ID. If yes, it displays an error message, else displays the login credentials page. In the Login Credentials page, enter the name. Re-enter the previously entered email ID and the password for your account. Then, click Create Account to display the contact information page. This page gives you the option to create a company account or a personal AWS account. For this demonstration, we will create personal AWS account. Then enter your full name and address in the displayed fields. Next, enter the CAPTCHA characters from the displayed security image. An important step is to open the AWS agreement and read it thoroughly. Then select the AWS Customer Agreement checkbox. Selecting the checkbox indicates that you have read the AWS agreement and you agree to it. Then, click Create Account and continue to display Payment Information page. In this page, enter the credit card details, and then click Verify Card and continue to display the Identity Verification page. Before displaying the Identity Verification page, the AWS servers verify the entered credit or debit card details by performing a reversible transaction of a small amount. This page displays your entered mobile number and is used to verify and confirm your identity. As you click Call Me Now, the AWS system calls you on the displayed number and your computer screen displays a 4-digit verification PIN. Enter the displayed 4-digit PIN in your phone using the keypad. Once the verification is successful, the page displays a message, Identity Verification Complete. Simply click Continue to select your support plan to display the support plan page. This page displays and explains about the 3 support plans: Basic, Developer, and Business. For this demonstration, we will select the free or basic plan, and then click Continue to display the welcome page of the AWS services. Congratulations! You have successfully created an AWS account. In this topic, we will learn how to navigate through the AWS Management Console. You can access the AWS Management Console from your web browser, and its user-friendly web-based interface lets you access all AWS services. Accessing the AWS console requires an AWS account, and you can get it by registering with AWS. The AWS Management Console manages all elements of the user's AWS account that include monitor monthly expenditure of each service, manage security permissions, and creating new IAM users. In addition to the mobile browser, the AWS console is available as a mobile app for Android and iOS operating systems. You can download the AWS console app from Amazon App Store, Google Play Store, and iTunes. The AWS Management Console displays the navigation bar, navigation pane, and current page. Navigating through the ever-increasing list of AWS products and services in the AWS Management Console can be tedious. So Amazon offers the following features for easy navigation: accessing services, accessing the history list, editing the navigation bar, and selecting the region. By default, the AWS Management Console displays all AWS services. But unless you are familiar with the position of the service on the console, finding the right service from the displayed list can be cumbersome. The feature of placing services in a group enables refining user navigation. You can view and access the service groups from the All AWS Services section in the Services menu. The following is the current list of service groups in the All AWS Services section: Compute, Storage and Content Delivery, Database, Networking, Developer Tools, Management Tools, Security and Identity, Analytics, Internet of Things, Mobile Services, Application Service, and Enterprise Applications. Here, simply move the cursor over a service group to view the enclosed services. For example, moving the cursor over Storage and Content Delivery displays S3, Elastic File System, Import-Export Snowball, CloudFront, Glacier, Storage Gateway. Another convenient feature of AWS Console is the history list. It contains up to 6 of the most recently used services. So, if you are regularly working with up to 6 services, you can directly access them from the history list. The next feature on the navigation bar for easy navigation is the Edit menu. It enables you to customize the way AWS services should appear on the navigation bar. To do this, open the Edit menu and then drag and drop the service you wish to place on the navigation bar. The navigation bar appears at the top of the web page, irrespective of where you navigate in the console, to enable quick and easy access. For example, if you regularly work with Amazon S3, placing the S3 icon on the navigation bar would enable accessing the service with just one click. AWS Region is another vital feature of the navigation bar. If you work with multiple regions, it is easy to forget switching regions and access the allocated resources and components. Some services, such as S3 and IAM, are global resources and do not require a specific region. To view and manage resources in a region, simply select the desired region. The navigation bar in the AWS console even provides the option to view and modify details related to your account and access the provided support in the form of documentation, training, forums, and contacting the support center. In this topic, you will learn about AWS Global Infrastructure. Amazon has its own data centers across the globe to host the AWS infrastructure. They are spread across different regions in the world, namely Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, and South America. Different product suites are available for each of these regions. By placing resources in distinct regions, you can design a website or application such that it is closer to its specific customers and fulfills legal, contractual, and other requirements. Each data center site is termed as a region, and each region consists of several distinct sites, termed as Availability Zones or AZ. Every zone is designed to remain isolated from failures detected in other zones, despite having an economical, low-latency connection with other zones in the region. So, by placing resources in different availability zones, you can shield your data, site, or application from the failure at one location. The AWS Cloud operates in 32 availability zones and within 12 geographic regions across the globe. The AWS has planned to expand their real estate to 11 more availability zones and 5 more regions in the coming year. Following are the upcoming AWS regions: India, Montreal in Canada, Ningxia in China, Ohio in North America, the United Kingdom. The knowledge of AWS infrastructure residing in these data centers is gained only by the Amazon staff having genuine business reasons. This is for security purposes. The data centers are secured physically in different ways to prevent unauthorized access. The AWS team employs multi-factor access control systems and state-of-the-art electronic scrutiny. Qualified security guards remain at these centers 24 hours a day, and only authorized access is granted as per the least privilege criteria. The deployed environmental systems reduce the influence of disruptions. Several regions along with their availability zones are resilient against most failures, including ones due to a natural disaster. The characteristics of regions and availability zones are as follows. A region is an isolated physical location or a geographical area in the world. Regions are used to run applications and workloads, minimize the gap between request and response time or latency for end users, manage long-term commitments, and tackle challenges of successfully scaling and managing a global infrastructure. A region consists of a minimum of 2 availability zones connected through low-latency links. On the other hand, An availability zone is an isolated location with single or multiple advanced data centers. The presence of multiple availability zones enables the customers to distribute their computing resources among several Tier 1 internet service and power providers. Let's see the steps to select an AWS region. The first step is to open the AWS Management Console. Next, from the navigation bar, click to open the region selector and then select the required region. Congratulations! You have successfully completed the steps to select a region. In this topic, you will learn about several security measures provided by AWS. The AWS provides data security by employing state-of-the-art data centers and network architecture with tools and features that help you meet security-related objectives, such as visibility, auditability, manageability, and alertness. These features enable you to obtain the desired security without bearing the additional operational cost of an on-premises environment. AWS delivers the information related to the implemented security using different mediums, such as papers, reports, certifications, and other third-party attestations. This information plays a vital role in letting the customers get acquainted with AWS security controls and how an independent author would validate these controls. AWS offers several security benefits, provides expert guidance, allows access to different tools, and ensures complete privacy and data protection. Let's learn each of these security measures. AWS infrastructure is designed to offer the highest degree of data security and robust safety mechanism that ensures data privacy and segregation. The security manager at AWS review and verify the components on a daily basis. Plus, highly automated infrastructure helps security managers and experts to employ less time on routine tasks and give emphasis on measures to increase security. AWS provides free access to documentation related to its products and services. This proves to be an excellent education and training material for customers to effectively solve their ongoing issues. AWS offers Trusted Advisor, an online tool to automatically examine the customer's AWS environment, identify security gaps, and fill them. Also, customers seeking a single point of contact to resolve their technical queries can always connect with their Technical Account Manager, or TAM. AWS provides different tools to maintain data security. The key features of these tools include ensuring infrastructure security by providing mechanisms such as data encryption and built-in network firewalls, evaluating applications for weaknesses or deviations using tools such as Amazon Inspector, defining user account permissions and hardware-based authenticators using AWS Identity and Access Management and AWS Multi-Factor Authentication, respectively, and monitoring and maintaining logs of access and changes in the customer's AWS environment. AWS products and services cater to different industries, and each industry adheres to their own compliance and audit standards. Also, AWS provides a platform to run the application and systems for these industries. They automatically share the compliance responsibilities. AWS works in conjunction with different compliance enablers to create different compliance programs that enable customers to function in a secured and controlled AWS environment. Some of the key compliance programs include HIPAA, PCI, ISO 9001-2008, ISO 27001-2013, ISO 27017-2015, ISO 27018-2014, EU Data Protection, SOC, FedRAMP, DoD, CSM, and data privacy. A question that AWS commonly encounters is, would my customer's data remain secure with AWS services? The answer is, maintaining data security is the shared responsibility of both AWS and customers. In other words, AWS implements a shared responsibility model to ensure the security of data and its products and services. In this shared responsibility model, AWS undertakes security of the global infrastructure for services that run in the cloud, referred to as security of the cloud, whereas customers manage security of their data and applications using the AWS services, referred to as security in the cloud. This shared responsibility model reduces the customer's operational burden, as AWS operates, manages, and controls components of the host operating system and virtualization lab to the physical security of the facilities in which the services operate. Customers have the control to protect the content, platform, applications, application software, and configuration of the AWS-provided security group firewall. AWS provides multiple data protection services, which includes encryption, security groups, and multi-factor authentication capabilities. Customers are expected to utilize the provided data protection services to deploy, configure, and maintain security baselines within the available services. The crucial components of AWS are their data centers, and keeping them physically secure is their prime responsibility. The AWS team has the expertise to design, build, and operate within large-scale data centers and maintain their physical security. The AWS team undertakes the following key measures to ensure physical security of their facilities and data centers. Deploying trained security guards for around-the-clock security of data center facilities, nondescript locations, and undisclosed facilities. Implementing two-factor authentication to access the facilities. Allowing only individuals with approved and authorized access within the data centers. And providing non-stop monitoring, logging, and auditing of physical access controls. AWS services provide security for all supported hardware and software products using different AWS monitoring tools that prevent unusual or unauthorized events or situations at the communication points. These tools keep a keen eye on the usage of network and server, port scanning activities, applications, and unauthorized intrusion attempts. AWS monitoring tools are used to locate different types of denial of service, or DOS attacks, flooding, and software or logic attacks. Additionally, AWS implements other key security measures that include monitoring and controlling change to the AWS hardware and software through a centralized and automated change control process, ensuring only authorized individuals can gain access to the supported hardware and software products, allowing access to confidential software or hardware using only an SSH login. This is accessible only through base station servers that record all access attempts. Monitoring and controlling communications within the internal and beyond external boundary of the network. AWS offers different tools and compliance resources to maintain security for their cloud-based architecture and environment. The measures implemented by these tools include use SSL and secured API endpoints or customer access points for encrypted transmission over HTTPS. Allow only users and software with cryptographic keys and certificates to access an AWS API. Control external access to EC2 instances using built-in firewalls called security groups. Create individual user accounts in the IAM tool. Enable multi-factor authentication, or MFA, with the help of hardware token or a software app. Offer data encryption of files and objects stored using AWS services such as Amazon S3, Amazon Glacier, Amazon Redshift, Oracle RDS, and others. AWS provides security groups that work as built-in firewalls for your virtual servers. This feature gives you the ability to set access controls on instances of your stored applications and data. You can set them totally public or completely private, or somewhere in between. Plus, AWS enables you to control egress and ingress of data when its instances are placed within a virtual private cloud or VPC subnet. Amazon Virtual Private Cloud, or Amazon VPC, offers you the facility to logically detach a portion of the AWS cloud and then introduce the required AWS resources in your defined virtual network. This facility gives you complete control of the virtual network settings, such as selecting IP address range, creating subnets, and configuring routine tables and network gateways. Amazon VPC adds a network security layer over and above your data instances. It creates private subnets and adds an IPsec VPN tunnel between your home network and your AWS VPC. Also, it offers the privilege to define network topology, subnets, network access control lists, internet gateways, routing tables, and virtual private gateways. Here, the subnets can be defined as public or private. The Identity and Access Management, or the IAM tool, enables you to control the user's service-level access. Set security for users accessing AWS services and resources. Work with AWS users and groups. Set permissions for users accessing AWS resources. Create users and groups. Define roles. Set IAM access control policies. Define group functions related to user management. IAM fails to provide any solution to set application-level security and control resource-level access. In the case of single-user policies, IAM uses the least privileged model to aggregate permissions and maintains a deny bias. Let's summarize the topics covered in this lesson. Amazon Web Services is Amazon's cloud computing environment offering significant advantages of flexibility, economies of scale, scalability, and security. The infrastructure of Amazon Web Services resides in Amazon data centers spread across the globe. These sites are called regions. You can access AWS through the Management Console, the Command Line Interface, Command Line Tools, AWS Software Development Kits, and Query APIs. AWS provides the simple monthly calculator to estimate the cost of using AWS. AWS offers several security benefits, provides expert guidance, allows access to different tools, and ensures complete privacy and data protection. Amazon Virtual Private Cloud, or Amazon VPC, offers you the facility to logically detach a portion of the AWS cloud and then introduce the required AWS resources in your defined virtual network. This facility gives you complete control of the virtual network settings, such as selecting IP address range, creating subnets, and configuring routine tables and network gateways. This concludes the lesson Introduction to AWS. The next lesson is Storage and Content Delivery.